Good morning, everybody. I'm Maira Ansari here with Dr. Stephen Taylor from UofL Health Peace Hospital for We Should Talk About It. And today we're talking about something that many of us make. I know I make the same one every year. And I don't really, I get all motivated and then it's like, a nosedive. We're talking about New Year's resolutions because we are kind of already in December and we start to think about the things that we want to accomplish for the new year, new beginning. And sometimes we achieve those goals.
Right.
Sometimes we don't. I don't want to say fail, but we don't. We don't get to our goal.
Maybe we can just say less successful than we had hoped.
Yes, whether it's I want to get in shape, I want to take self-care more important. I want to find a new job. I want to be a better parent. I want to be a better partner. I want to be a better friend. We all have goals that can be very different. But why is it come the new year? Is that like the new chapter in life that we're going to start? Starting all over?
I mean, I think it is, in a way, a reflection of the wider culture and our expectation for change. I think we have really good intentions. I don't think people make New Year's resolutions without some good intention behind it.
Sure.
I think they really do want to experience something different. I just think that we live in a culture that thinks that change can just happen because we say so.
Yeah.
We get a new job. Oh, everything's going to be different. We move into a new house. Life is going to be completely changed.
Okay. One thing you just said is like, ding, 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 ding. My husband says it to me all the time. Just because you say so doesn't make it real.
Right. I think that's right.
So that is so on point. Just because we say something doesn't really make. There's action that has to follow.
And that's the thing. I mean, real change is kind of dull and boring. Because it takes a little bit of effort every day, and it's the little things that make change. So it's the little things that we do that add up to real change. I'm trying to remember where I heard this expression about big versus little things. There was a psychologist who developed this kind of system that talked about how we make change and how we do the process of change. And his demonstration was like a string that you put little pearls on. You add pearls to the string, and all the pearls are the same size. They're all the same size pearl, and you're adding those to the string. Everything that you do is another pearl that goes on the string. And making real change is like making a string of pearls in a way. You're adding one little thing at a time. One little thing that you do every day is what makes that great change. It's not one big dramatic sort of Hollywood movie sort of thing. It's a little bit of effort every day. And what that psychologist was trying to demonstrate is how that's kind of how real change happens. It's, getting up in the morning, getting up and doing something, getting up and getting dressed for some people. I mean, we don't think of that as a big deal, but for some people, that's a lot to do, and it is a major thing to do. It's a pearl that goes on that thread.
True.
So, we just do those things every day. We just put a little bit of effort into it every day, and that's how real change happens. But we want it to be when that ball hits the bottom of that journey on New Year's Eve in Times Square, and the new year lights up. It was like, oh, now everything's going to be different. It's going to be magical. And unfortunately, it's not that exciting. It's a lot more boring. Getting a new exercise regimen for the new year, it just, you do a little bit of it every day. And it's not that nobody's there cheering for you. It's not like you're crossing the finish line and there's the photo finish and people are screaming and yelling for you. There may be people who are doing that and leading you on and being your cheerleader, but it's just kind of that little bit every day that we do that makes real change.
If you all are joining us on social media, tell us what maybe a resolution is that you're looking forward to keeping this year, or one that you keep and you maybe don't accomplish it. Tell us how you kind of get through to do that, because I think sometimes, we set these big goals, and then when we don't accomplish them, we kind of beat ourselves up, right?
Right. I think part of it is we set big goals, but we don't create steps to that goal. So it's like, I am going to be super fit this year. Well, that's a big goal, but it's not going to just happen all of a sudden. I need to make some kind of steps to get to it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not super fit right now. So how do I get to that big goal? I can make a list of things that can lead me up to it. Maybe the first thing is ride my bike more. Maybe the first thing is take more walks. Maybe the first thing is use the stairs when I can instead of the elevator. Those are simple changes, but they can be on that list to build me to that goal of being a different person who's more fit.
Is it going hardcore? Whether it's I'm going to go do acts of kindness.
Right.
I'm going to go do it every day, and then it's like,
and just you wear yourself out.
Wear yourself out.
Right. Exactly.
So is it kind of pacing yourself, taking it step by step, and realizing, okay, maybe this is a change in my behavior, in my mental attitude, physically as well.
Right.
So maybe I just take it slow.
Just take it slow.
Slow and steady.
It's the little pearls on the string, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you do one thing today that was different. Maybe you do two things today that was different. It doesn't have to be the entire day. So I think it's kind of building it, and it's a slow motion process.
Are you a failure if you don't succeed to your goal?
Well, of course not. But if you're let's say we get to the end of next year and you're not standing in the same place you're standing in this year, and you've moved, in a sense, you've moved the needle, that's a success.
True. True.
That's success. And that's kind of what the idea of that sort of building the strand of pearls is about. It's not about reinventing something and having a patent for some amazing thing you just invented. It's about not being where you were when you started. And so any movement away from that is success.
So if you're thinking, okay, 2023, I'm going to find that job. I'm going to get out of the rut that I'm in and find somewhere to work where I'll be happy. You have to start applying. You have to put yourself out there. Nothing is going to come out at you.
Right.
We have to be proactive.
Exactly. And taking those steps, small steps, one step at a time, just kind of making that motion in that direction. That's the process. It's not as exciting. It's not as dramatic. It doesn't make great Hollywood movies, but that's kind of reality. I think we do want it to be all of a sudden. And when it isn't, it's really frustrating. And it really is frustrating when it doesn't happen just all at once.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit of effort in that direction every day.
You're not going to lose 20 pounds in a week, more than likely, right?
You shouldn't.
Yeah. You should. If you are, then you need to talk to someone.
Yeah, that's not a good way to go about it, because it doesn't really represent real change. No change in your lifestyle has happened in that short amount of time. And that's a part of it too. It's about changing the way we live and think and how our mind works. We're changing the way our mind works when we live into something new. So it really is a lifestyle change. And that lifestyle change is a lot about what's going on in our minds, how we're thinking, what we're thinking about. That's a big piece of it. Kind
of acknowledging the journey. How important is that? I know during the pandemic, one of the things that I did, and I made the goal, like, I'm going to write down one little thing that I'm grateful for every day. And I kept it up. I did it for about, I think, a month or something like that. But sometimes writing it down, acknowledging, being in the moment of my success, that kind of helped me realize the daily progress that I felt like I needed to acknowledge.
Right.
Whether it's I got up today and took a shower. That was I'm grateful for hot water. I'm grateful for food in the fridge. I'm grateful for whatever it is.
Yeah. There could be a lot of reasons for why we don't acknowledge our own success as we have it. And, psychotherapy can be a great tool for trying to understand that for each person who might be struggling there. But it's a pretty common phenomenon for us not to recognize what we're doing. And journaling or writing it down is a good way to sort of get it outside of your head in a way and get it out so you can see it. And then you can see, oh yeah, I am doing things. Well, we can so easily beat ourselves down and say, I'm getting nowhere, I'm doing nothing, until we can sort of line it up and look at what we're doing. And we can see that there's quite a lot.
Yeah.
We do a lot.
Yeah.
We just don't often give ourselves credit for it.
Absolutely. Whether it is if you're dealing with depression right now and you can't seem to get yourself moving forward, look at something, a small goal, you reached out to a loved one, you took a walk today, you did something for yourself. Because I think sometimes in life, right, we get so busy or we worry about other people that taking care of ourselves, if you're not good inside, you're not good for
Right.
anything else, really.
And, it is important to have support too.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we have goals and we have things we want to change, it is very helpful to have somebody working along with us. People who want to get into exercise and do a better exercise regimen. For some people, joining a class can be a great way to do that because you're surrounded by people who can be motivational and encourage you. You have people that you kind of hold yourself accountable to, and they hold you accountable to them. And it becomes a kind of a community that's building this together and that you're not alone in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that can confound us is when we tackle things and we're just alone. We don't have any help with it. Nobody's supporting us. We aren't supporting anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think support groups can be helpful. That's why I think
Absolutely.
things like AA can be helpful because it's a group that you can belong to where you all are holding some accountability with each other. And that helps. I think that's very motivational too.
If your goal this year is to improve your mental health, maybe talk to somebody, there's resources out there, and
For sure.
and you can do that. There's so many different ways.
That's right. I mean, there are so many ways to reach out. Of course, we all have been talking about the new way to reach out for mental health, for the emergency hotline with the 988 number that can be called or texted to. I mean, it's just available, 24/7. That's a way to reach out. And just, whatever your community is, if you're involved in a religious group, having someone there, a minister to reach out to can be helpful. Even just having a close friend or somebody that you can talk to.
Mm-hmm.
That's an important way to kind of get the process started.
Yeah. I think a great thing, small acts of kindness that you can do,
That's
or
right.
just reaching out to somebody, taking steps that maybe I think sometimes we forget how rewarding it can be to help other people.
Right.
That may kind of help us get through our funk sometimes.
For sure. And I think we totally overlook how big small steps are.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that can be such a crucial thing.
So what if you trip and you fall off the boat and you don't, you weren't there every day for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What do you
well, expect that. First of all, I would say expect setbacks and expect not to be 100% there all the time and always winning and always successful. If we look at history and we look at people who've invented things, look at Einstein, for example, and coming up for the theory of relativity. He was just a patent clerk, right? Mm-hmm. So he's just this guy working in the patent office, reading patents, and that's not a great job, mm-hmm. right? But this is the guy that changes the world of physics, mm-hmm. By what he was writing. So obviously he's going to be experiencing himself as having setbacks, as he's working along in his journey, but he keeps at it, you just don't give up. And I think that's the main thing too. Small steps are big, and we can expect to stumble and we can expect to fall, and we just get up.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it's at.
Absolutely. And if you didn't accomplish your goal, it's never too late to refocus, maybe reframe it, exactly. and maybe say, okay, this wasn't really what I wanted to do. That's
right. And I think thinking about it as an all or nothing proposition is where we can set ourselves up for failure. Yeah. If we think that it's either I'm achieving this lofty goal I set for myself or I'm an absolute failure, then, we've already set ourselves up.
Absolutely.
But if we think about it as, any movement off of where I am now is a success, any movement forward is success for me, mm-hmm. then that can really begin to reframe it. Mm-hmm. It can make it mean a whole different thing.
And is your goal, your business, what if someone's little thing, I'm not going to bite my nails this year, mm-hmm. whatever. It could be something silly to some, but meaningful to you.
Right.
A reminder of just not to judge people on what they want to achieve.
Right. Your goal is your goal.
Yeah.
And it's not about how we compare each other to each other. Social media is a big danger zone for that.
Yes.
There is a real tendency for us to, look what so-and-so is doing, so I'm nothing compared to that. Well, that's not really a fair way to compare yourself.
Yeah.
You're comparing yourself about what you want to do and how you can move the needle for mm-hmm. yourself. It doesn't matter what other people are doing.
So true. I have been telling people this, and for me personally, it's helped me, and everybody's journey is different. I don't get on Facebook as much as I used to. I took it off my cell phone because I found myself just feeling like, oh, so-and-so's doing this and I'm not doing this. So-and-so lost weight. I haven't lost weight. So-and-so took a vacation. I didn't take it. So-and-so looks so happy in their family photos. I haven't taken it. It was just consuming me. And I wasn't appreciating what I had.
Right.
And then we've talked about this before here on our podcast, the doom scrolling, the time wasting, and just comparing ourselves to others, assuming others have it perfect when they don't.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So that helped me. So I know if you're feeling that way, maybe taking a step back and just not getting tied up in that.
I think that's exactly right. Kind of, as you would say, I guess, keep your eye on the ball, right? You've got your own idea of what you want to do and you're moving in that direction. That's what's important.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I hope today's topic, New Year's resolutions, was helpful to you. If you make them, hey, try if you can. Don't beat yourself up. If you fall, you can always pick yourself back up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm Maira Ansari with Dr. Stephen Taylor from UofL Health Peace Hospital. Hope you have a wonderful day.